Hello everyone, welcome back to another product review video, and today I'm going to be talking about this phone gimbal. Power it on, you just hold down the power button. You will need to make sure that your camera gimbal, like the phone, is completely balanced and just looks like this before you turn it on, or else it will not work that well. Now, to level your camera, all you're going to need to do is you're going to set it on a flat surface, then you're going to need to hit the power button, the function button 5 times, and then it'll completely act like it is dead. Once you do that, you'll face the gimbal as shown here, flat on its surface, and then once the gimbal recognizes that it has been still for long enough, the blue light, I believe, will blink 3 times, which will tell you that it is done processing, that it has now been leveled. Then you'll be able to pick it back up, and you'll hit the function button once, and you'll be able to use it just as normal. So I've already done that. I already have this completely ready, and I actually have the stand connected, which you don't need the stand. It can come off like that, and you can actually put this on a tripod or any other thing that has the, I think it's 3/4 inch threading, or 4/3, something with the 3 or 4 in threading. The normal standard tripod threading is what this has on the bottom of it, and on that. So you don't have to use this stand just for this tripod, you can actually use it for anything else, even if it's just a camera. You may think this is a really simple gimbal, but there's actually a lot more into this than what I had already thought was into this. I looked at it and I was like, oh, it's a gimbal. I turned it on, started playing with it, like, oh, whatever, it's not that difficult. This thing's actually kind of in depth. So if you press this button once, that will completely set it back to its original form, and it is now locked. So that is completely locked in that direction. So if I turn this, it's locked that way. If I do this, it is locked that way. It's completely facing that way. So if you want to lock it on a subject, let's undo it there. So like if I wanted to lock it facing straight, then I would face it straight. I would press the button once. Now it is completely locked towards you guys, and there's nothing I can really do to remove the fact that it's locked on you guys unless I click the button again, which basically unlocks it. If you press the button twice, it will now start, the blue light will start blinking twice. This mode completely locks it like this, so you can move it up and the thing will face up, you can move it down and it'll face down in any direction that you want it to go. Then to unlock that feature, you just press the button once again and it will completely reset what's going on. If you want to use it just as a normal gimbal to where it can kind of follow everywhere, you'll want to hit, I believe it's just the back button, and then it'll start flashing once. When it flashes once, that means it will just kind of stay straight, but you can move it all around. So yeah, so the first option was it just faces the direction you pointed at. The second one was it completely locks it in this position to where you can move it anywhere. Then the third option is just facing straight, but still being able to move it as necessary. There is also something else cool about this gimbal that I noticed, which is that this thing actually extends. So if you wanted to do selfie mode, which you can do, there's actually a downloadable app that you can get for this, I think on the iPhone App Store. I think it is on other app stores as well. You'll just need to go check that out. But yeah, if you have an iPhone, I know definitely it is because I've downloaded it. I'm not going to get into the app because that's more in depth, and pretty much this is all you really need to know to get started with it, and it's all that the actual gimbal shows that it can do right out of the box. Something else that I thought was cool, if we put this back down, is that if you hold it like this, you can press the function button and hold down this back button, and it'll go straight into vertical mode. So now you can shoot vertically, which I don't necessarily recommend because I don't necessarily like vertical video, but if you're shooting for Instagram or if you're wanting to get a picture, then yeah, that's good. That's a good function for this. I just wouldn't use it for a normal video just because vertical video isn't necessarily the best. But if you're wanting to do a photo or an Instagram live, this is perfect for that, and then you can just walk around with a stable camera. So yeah, that's a great feature to have, and then to just set it back to normal, you just hit this back trigger button twice, and it will completely reset in a matter of seconds. You may be wondering what this thing is on the side right there, and there's a T and a W. If you move it up towards the W and down to the T, it doesn't really do much. But if you get the app, it actually, if you Bluetooth connect it to the gimbal, which you can do, so you'll be able to control it with the gimbal. You'll be able to control your phone with the gimbal if you get the app. You'll be able to zoom with this switch, whatever that is, whatever it's called. And then you'll be able to record with that bottom button right there. To charge it, there is a little USB spot on the side, and you'll just plug that into a USB port. Then there's actually a USB port, mini USB, on top of the gimbal. And so you can charge your phone while you're using the gimbal, and it just runs off the battery power of the gimbal. Now, there's not necessarily much more to say about the gimbal, but I can show you the test footage in stability, because that's the reason probably why you're getting a gimbal, is to make your footage more stable with your smartphones, whether it be while you're walking and you're just talking to the phone, or if you're recording some sick B-roll wherever you may be. So now I'm going to show some clips of where I have used the gimbal and where I've just held the smartphone on its own. I have looked at the test footage from the video clips, and I gotta say, there's a noticeable difference than when I just use the phone than when I use the gimbal. And in one particular clip, I tripped over a box or a bag when I was just using it without it being extended, because if you notice, I did one clip of it being like this, one with it being extended, and one with just the phone. So whenever I was just using this, I actually tripped, and you don't really see anything. Like, I full-blown tripped and moved, and nothing really got shown. I don't necessarily think that there's a noticeable difference between it being like this and it being extended, except for the fact that it does give you a more wide range of motion to be able to get more close-up shots and pan-outs and things like that. So that's it for the review today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. The link to the camera gimbal bundle is in the description below. That's all for today, and I'll see you guys in the next video.